Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. So going to be giving you my post-match reaction for the Brighton Manchester United game. So it's just ended, Brighton 2, Manchester United 3 at the Amex Stadium. It's our first 3 points of the season. And it is the second season in a row we have beaten Brighton at the Amex Stadium. Now, Bruno Fernandes has definitely saved Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. We got a penalty. Was it in the 100th minute or something like that? I think it was that we got given this penalty. Obviously, the penalty came from a handball from Maupay. It was Harry Maguire that headed it on. But I think I heard that the actual whistle had gone, so it did actually end 2-2. And then obviously the players were surrounding the referee. But I don't really know what happened. But let's delve more into the game. I've got to be honest, I thought Brighton dominated the game, especially in the first half. Obviously, Tariq Lamptey looked very, very threatening for Brighton. He was causing all sorts of problems. Aaron Connolly, he looked a threat for them. Maupay, he also had a very, very good game for Brighton. Trossard, he had a good game, also had some good chances. I think Brighton must have hit the woodwork around 5 times in the game. And also too, David De Gea had to make a couple of crucial stops. Anyway, Brighton did take the lead from a penalty. Obviously, it was Bruno Fernandes that had given the penalty away because I think he'd fouled Tariq Lamptey. So anyway, Maupay took the penalty and scored it, and that was 1-0. Then we equalised. It came from a set piece, actually. Bruno Fernandes whipped it in. Harry Maguire, obviously, was the one that forced Lewis Dunk to put it into his own net. And obviously, then we got level on terms. I think we had 2 disallowed goals in the game as well. I want to mention Mason Greenwood. He had a disallowed goal. Also to Marcus Rashford. He had a disallowed goal. But yeah, we took the lead. Marcus Rashford had scored. It's his first Premier League goal of the season. It was Bruno Fernandes that had got the assist. Then in the 95th minute of stoppage time, was it? Brighton had equalised through Solly March. Solly March also hit the inside of the post. And I actually thought it was going to end 2-2. But obviously that late penalty had happened. This late goal from Bruno Fernandes from the penalty spot, it's definitely an iconic moment for Manchester United. And, we have had a lot of iconic moments up and down, the years in that. Under the Sir Alex Ferguson era, we used to score a lot late on. And, we used to come back from, when we was losing. Don't forget in 1999, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer scored late on for us to win the treble. Obviously, that's Manchester United's greatest achievement is the treble, and obviously one of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's most iconic moments when he was a Manchester United player. Now, I've just read some of the stats of the game. Brighton did have far more chances than us. I heard that they had around 18 shots in total. I think they created around 15 chances. We had around, 7 chances in the game and created around 5 chances in that. But I think we did, to be fair, improve in the second half. Now, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer did make changes from the 3-0 win against Luton not so long ago. Victor Lindelof surprisingly started alongside Harry Maguire. I'm surprised that we didn't start Eric Bailly. Donny van de Beek, he also didn't start the game, so he's not yet made his full Premier League debut for Manchester United. maybe Solskjaer feels as though that it's not gonna work out yet, with Donny van de Beek, Paul Pogba and Bruno Fernandes in a midfield trio. But I do want to mention that obviously Eric Bailly did come on in the game. Also too, Fred came on in the game, and Donny van de Beek also came on. We was also lucky not to give another penalty away. I think it was actually Paul Pogba that had brought down Aaron Connolly. I think actually the referee had given the penalty, but then obviously VAR had intervened and overturned it. So these quite a few talking points in the game. Now, De Gea, he weren't so bad actually. Like I said, had to make some good saves. But didn't have loads to do, let's be honest. Obviously, we was going to put David De Gea in goal for this game against Brighton because I said, David De Gea will remain our first choice goalkeeper this season, and, he's been our number one for several years. This season is David De Gea's 10th season at Manchester United. And Wan-Bissaka, I don't think he was too good, to be quite honest with you. I think, we looked far too exposed on that right-hand side. Brighton exploited that right-hand side far too easily. And I think, Wan-Bissaka lacked confidence. Like I've always said, Wan-Bissaka's got to improve his attacking intent, because that's what he is lacking at the moment. Victor Lindelof. I thought he had a better game than he did last week against Crystal Palace. I thought his awareness looked better and his concentration was better than that. But he wasn't brilliant, don't get me wrong. Harry Maguire, he didn't have a bad game, Harry Maguire. Like I mentioned, he played a part in us getting the penalty. Obviously also played a part in us getting the equaliser. This season is Harry Maguire's second season at Manchester United, where we know that he's going to remain Manchester United captain for this season. Luke Shaw, obviously, he started at left back. I don't think Luke Shaw was too good. I think Luke Shaw gave the ball away quite a few times of what I saw. I thought he couldn't cope with the pace of Tariq Lamptey on that left-hand side. So I don't think Luke Shaw was brilliant. Paul Pogba, I don't think he was too good, Paul Pogba, to be quite honest with you. Don't think he was too good, no. Like I said, he was lucky not to give that penalty away. Looked exposed at times. But he also weren't good in the Crystal Palace game, Paul Pogba, because don't forget, he gave the ball away a lot of times in the game against Crystal Palace. I think Paul Pogba will stay at Manchester United for at least another season. I just think that we've got to get Paul Pogba a new long-term contract at the football club to end the uncertainty over his future. As it stands at the moment, Pogba's just got under a year left on his Man United contract, but the club do have an option to extend it for a further year. As it stands at the moment, Pogba's our most expensive signing because we paid £89 million for him. Matic struggled to break the play up at times. And I don't think he was too good, Nemanja Matic, if I'm going to be quite honest with you. Did also look exposed at times. Some of his passing, weren't so good. Bruno Fernandes had a good game for Manchester United. Like I said, you can say that he played a part in, all 3 goals with Bruno Fernandes. And in the vast majority of his games so far, Bruno Fernandes has done very, very well for Manchester United. I think he won some Applebury Player of the Year last season. He's already won Premier League Player of the Month 3 times. I think it is reflecting on his good run of performances. But Bruno Fernandes, since he's come in, has definitely made the difference in the team. Marcus Rashford, I've got to say he had a very, very good game. Like I said, got his name on the score sheet. Also had a disallowed goal. Made some very, very good runs. Had some good touches as well. That's very, very good performance by Marcus Rashford. Mason Greenwood, gotta say, I was also very, very impressed with him. Like I mentioned earlier on, he had that disallowed goal. And he's improving as a Manchester United player. He really, really is. And last season was obviously his first full season in our senior squad, Mason Greenwood's. Don't forget, was it before the season started, we had a few issues with Mason Greenwood, didn't we? Because something to do with inhaling laughing gas. He also was dropped from the England squad by Gareth Southgate with Phil Foden for inviting girls back to the team hotel. We know that Mason Greenwood now anyway is our number 11. He's the fourth Manchester United player to wear the number 11 shirt. So there was quite a few players, that performed well for us. I thought Fred did well when he came on. Van der Beek again did very, very well when he came on. Van der Beek's enjoyed a fantastic start to his Manchester United career. He really, really has. And what a signing he has been so far. And like I mentioned, I think, Bailly did very, very well when he came on. Solskjaer was saying prior to this game against Brighton, this was in his press conference, that he's going to select Bailly more now. Because he said our defensive record was good last season, and he thinks Bailly and Harry Maguire do make a fantastic partnership. But I do believe that Bailly's a better centre-half than Lindelof. My only element of concern about Bailly is that he is injury-prone. Solskjaer has no interest now in getting a centre-half in this summer transfer window. I think he's looking to get a centre-half next summer because he insists that our defence is strong enough. This is something he said. But we have got around 7 centre-halves in the team. But yeah, it's a very, very good win for Manchester United. Like I said, it wasn't going to be an easy game. Because Brighton have been in the good vein of form recently. Brighton, prior to this game, had won their last 3 games. And we play Brighton next week in the Carabao Cup 4th round, and that will be the second time we will be playing them in a matter of days. Their current manager is Graham Potter. Brighton is the 3rd club in his managerial career. Obviously, before he was at Brighton, he was at Swansea, and I think before he was at Swansea, he was at Östersund. I think Brighton did have a couple of injuries, by the way, today. They obviously had that Florian Andorn out. They had Jose Izquierdo out. And they had Christian Walton out with injury. And I think they had that Bissouma suspended. Didn't he get like a 2 or 3 match suspension for Brighton? But there's some players that have just recovered from injury for them. Don't forget Aaron Connolly. I think he was a doubt before the game, but like I mentioned, he played today. I think Dale Stephens has now gone to Burnley, I heard. Tariq Lamptey, he played today, but he's just recently recovered from injury for Brighton. So, they did have a few injuries. I presume for the game next week in the Carabao Cup 4th round that Man United will be making changes from this game today. But reflecting on this win, I think it will put more confidence now into the team. Our next league game, by the way, is Tottenham. And that's going to be a pretty difficult game for Manchester United, is Tottenham. That's the first hard game for us, But yeah. And there'll be still Manchester United fans demanding Ole Gunnar Solskjaer out of the football club. There'd have been even more fans demanding him out if we hadn't got that penalty late on. I said to you, didn't I? I've got a bit of a perception on Solskjaer, but I don't have a lot of perception on him at the moment because, it's only the start of the season, isn't it? We've only played 2 league games. We've got to delve into more of the season first, and then I can give you more of a perception on him. But I always said anyway he deserved another season at Manchester United. This is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's second full season at the club. Obviously, Solskjaer knows that he's got to exceed expectations this season if he is to remain Manchester United manager. And one of the priorities this season will be to win a trophy because obviously we've not yet won out in terms of silverware under the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer era, and we haven't won a trophy for over 3 years. And I said to you as well, didn't I, that I want Manchester United to mount a title challenge up this season. It won't. If we don't make any more signings, I can't see us mounting any title challenge up this season, to be honest with you. We haven't mounted any title challenge up in the last 7 years, and we haven't won the Premier League since 2013. So the last time we won it was in Sir Alex Ferguson's last season. But let me just assure something with you. We are at least 3 to 4 years off from winning the Premier League title because as it stands at the moment, City are strides ahead of us and Liverpool are strides ahead of us. But if Manchester United did decide to sack Solskjaer, who would come in to replace him? Maybe Mauricio Pochettino would come in. Maybe Massimiliano Allegri would come in. Because there was talks of them coming in at the first part of last season. Because at the first part of last season, we enjoyed our worst start ever to a Premier League season. Didn't we? Don't forget. But stick with him for now. Solskjaer's decision making has still got to improve. Because in a lot of games for Manchester United, he has been tactically naive. That's one admission I will make. There's still aspects of our game that I've got to improve. There's still certain players that I've also got to improve. Now, it's under 2 weeks left until the summer transfer window shuts. And so far, Manchester United have only made one signing, and that was Donny van de Beek. But Solskjaer said, he wants to make around 3 more signings at Manchester United after Donny van de Beek. And obviously, we are looking to get Alex Telles from Porto. I give you the news on Alex Telles this morning. It says, we're still convinced that we can reach an agreement to get Alex Telles. And Fabrizio Romano did reveal that, Man United are still in talks with Porto. Porto want around 18 million or just over 18 million, but Telles has urged Porto to lower their asking price. I think we want to get him for around £12 million. Jadon Sancho to Manchester United is still a possibility. It says next week we are going to submit a £90 million bid, so we'll offer 75 million up front with 15 million in add-ons. Because Jadon Sancho is our number one priority target. But Solskjaer recently revealed that he is very infuriated with the lack of transfer activity. And obviously, this blame stems from the board, And like I said to we have been very, very critical of the board for several years, reflecting on how poor our recruitment policy's been. We've made a lot of mistakes in the last 7 years, and that's one of the main explanations why we've been so inconsistent. We've also overpaid for players. And, the managers that we've had since Ferguson retired have not been backed enough. And I don't think throughout the course of this summer transfer window that Solskjaer has been backed enough. But I think he does deserve more backing as Manchester United manager because he has publicly admitted that the club have got to spend money in this summer transfer window. If we are to compete with the likes of City, Liverpool and now perhaps Chelsea. Woodward's been at the football club since 2012 and the Glazers have been at the football club since 2005. So Woodward's been with us around 8 years, and the Glazers have been with us around 15 years. Matt Judge, I give you an update on him recently. He could be accountable for some of the failure of transfers. Patrice Evra did a recent video talking about Woodward and the Glazers and the problems at the club, but he also mentioned Matt Judge, saying he's to blame for a lot of the failure of transfers. Judge has been at Manchester United for a good 7 years now. He's been our assistant transfer negotiator since 2016, and there's been a lot of Manchester United fans saying that, we do need to sack the board. But we don't only need to focus on the incomings, we've also got to focus on the outgoings as well. There's definitely players that Manchester United have still got to sell, because quite frankly, there is still deadwood at the football club, and we need to sell players to generate money, and it will help us with our rebuilding process. You know what I mean? But yeah. Solskjaer at Manchester United has spent around £240 million. Last summer, he brought Daniel James, Wan-Bissaka and Harry Maguire in. In January, he brought Bruno Fernandes and Igalo in on loan, and recently brought Donny van de Beek in. He's also brought a few academy players into the football club. But I'm not Ollie out at the moment. I was at the first part of last season till then we turned things around, and that made me change my mind. You can say we rode our luck a bit today, but all that matters is we got the win. That is all that matters. It wasn't the best of performances by all means. But we haven't really got the structure to keep sacking managers anyway, because we're not known as a sacking club, despite the fact that we've sacked 3 managers since the Ferguson era, and that was obviously Moyes, Louis van Gaal and Jose Mourinho. In the last 7 years, we have spent a hell of a lot of money. We spent nearly £1 billion on players. I think we've spent £500 million since 2016. And we've recruited over 30 odd players in since the Sir Alex Ferguson era. But I said to you before, didn't I? It's going to be hard for any manager at Manchester United to replicate Ferguson's legacy or to last as long as Sir Alex Ferguson did. But Ferguson didn't settle in straight away because he didn't win out in his first 4 years at Man United, don't forget. And, Ferguson enjoyed a good 26, 27 years at Man United and won a total of 38 major honours. We've only won 3 trophies since Ferguson left, and that was the FA Cup under Van Gaal and the Europa League and the League Cup under Jose Mourinho and all of that. But you can just see that, Solskjaer is trying to improve the squad, he's trying to change the culture of the club and all of this. The areas we've got to strengthen up, we've got to get a centre-half in. We're not going to do that this summer, obviously. Get a left-back in and also get a right winger in. Before we was in for the striker. That's not the main priority, though, is getting a striker in, because I have got a lot of trustworthy in Anthony Martial. I think he's done very, very well under Solskjaer. So, yeah. So, on my next video, I will be giving you my player ratings for the game. So, anyway, guys, that's everything to update today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always. And take care. God bless. And I'll see you all again very, very soon.